So this is basically the idea of this is it's our top movies of 2024. Has the episode started, I guess? Maybe?
Not exactly. Ahoy there. Welcome to Rated Aargh. Thank you guys for joining us as we break down our top movies of 2024.
What he said.
What? Did you not like that intro?
I think that was great.
Did I scare you?
Nope, I think that was great.
Did I scare you a little bit?
I just forgot that we do this.
Captain's log, oh log, we keep on grooving. Let's go across the seas, those waves are moving. Whoa, every note, every jot, we keep on cruising. Captain's log, yo, we ain't losing. Ooh, yeah.
Welcome into an episode of the Captain's Log. I do want to start off, before we get into any movies, though. We've almost gone through a year of Rated Aargh.
Have we? When did we start?
Yes, we have one more movie to close out 1 year of Rated Aargh.
We started in April?
Started in April.
That's crazy, bro.
Yep. So, how do you guys feel about the first year of Rated Aargh?
I think it was fun.
I mean, it's been a lot
I think
of
we
fun.
covered a lot of ground, too.
We did.
Within, 12 episodes, but we covered a lot of movies.
We did. We covered a lot of stuff.
I think we've seen the full spectrum
I
of
think
what
that's true.
is out there.
Yeah.
What we're missing is a really bad pirate, like B horror.
You might say one that comes from a website like... I forgot what it's called. What's it called?
Tubi.
Yeah, Tubi. I was wanting you to say Tubi.
Like
Yes.
Tubi. Yeah, I mean, that's probably true. Do you guys have a favorite in terms of
I don't
like
remember what
everything
we
that
watched.
we've watched so far?
Sinbad.
Jesus. I think my biggest surprise for a movie that I was not expecting to like and that I did really enjoy was The Fog. 'Cause I didn't
Yeah,
really know
that's a
anything
good
about
one.
it. That
Yeah.
was one that you just kind of threw out there, and we were like, "Oh,
Like,
cool!"
we should do this for Halloween. Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed that one. And then I think one that I watched that maybe kind of shone a new light on the movie was Peter Pan that we just watched.
Yes, that was
because
fun.
I didn't realize as a kid, I guess, that he's not exactly the best guy.
Right, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I also really liked watching Curse of the Black Pearl and talking about it.
yeah, that one was a lot.
Because
of
I'd
fun.
watched it a bunch of times, but I'd never, thought about it in an in-depth way.
Yeah,
And it was fun.
yeah, that was a lot of fun. Christian, did you have a favorite?
The Fog.
The Fog.
Oh.
Yeah, that one was really solid. That one, I mean, I hadn't really watched a ton of John Carpenter stuff other than Halloween, I think, with you.
Yeah.
So it was very surprising to me, like how much that I really kind of want to watch a lot more John Carpenter
Yeah,
stuff
dude.
after watching that. So, I mean, Halloween's good, but I think The Fog is maybe one of his most underrated, if I had to guess.
I think you're right.
All right, well let's get into our top. Let's start with honorable mentions. I know we've got a couple honorable mentions. Christian, I'm not even sure. You said you weren't even sure you'd watch 10 new movies in 2024.
I think I
Pull
did the
the Brett.
same last year. I don't think I had enough.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's very possible.
But I was able to scrape 8.
Okay.
Okay, sweet. You want to start off with some honorable mentions?
Yeah, let me run through the 5 I have here real quick. And I have a very short reason as to why they're here.
Okay.
So, first honorable mention is Deadpool and Wolverine. It did not make my top 10, but I really, really enjoyed it. And I really like they paid homage to all the X-Men movies that came before. Abigail, because they made an actor say there's a vampire on my ass.
Yeah.
And I still think about that all the time, and it was really funny.
I mean, it was pretty great. It was pretty great.
The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, because of all the mustaches that the characters had. And the extreme violence in the movie.
Oh yeah, dude. That movie was great.
It was crazy.
It was so good.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3, because Jim Carrey was, you might say he was carrying that movie.
I mean, I agree. Yeah.
Christian, in that movie, he is so like 90s Jim Carrey, just being insane and screaming and jumping around. It's so refreshing to see him
which one?
in Sonic 3. to see Jim Carrey like act crazy again.
Yeah,
and then
because you didn't watch that one, right? Yeah, dude, that one.
It is kind of worth watching just to see Jim Carrey's performance.
Have you watched the other Sonic the Hedgehog movies? I know. I thought you'd seen one of them. No? Okay, we're going to have to watch them. I have 2 of them, and I already ordered the 3rd one, so we'll just have a Sonic marathon one day, because they're worth watching specifically for Jim Carrey. Especially this one.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 of them.
That's true. Yeah, there's double. There's 2 of them. And then my last one, honorable mention, is Madam Web. Because this movie, it really is the thing of, it's a horrible piece of media.
It very well could have been the worst movie of the year.
It might be the worst movie of the year. But here's the thing. I walked out of that movie theater and I left entertained. And if I left entertained, is it truly bad?
Yeah.
It might be. It's the most good bad movie of the year. I can tell you that.
I mean, it was a lot of fun.
It's worth watching because it is actually insane. And her mother was researching spiders in the Amazon.
I still hold to the firm belief that you could re-edit that movie and it would be significantly better.
It would be very, very good.
It'd be significantly better than it was. I mean, literally, like the first opening scene shouldn't have come until like midway through the movie, or even maybe further past midway through the movie. And yeah, I think you could probably re-edit that one and at least like make it somewhat redeemable after the
somewhat
absolute
coherent
crap show that it was.
She would open the Pepsi eventually.
I guess, yeah.
She carries around a Pepsi can. It doesn't open.
I will say I don't think I have Madam Web anywhere on any of my rankings list. Anything that I've got here. I will say I would like to shout out Madam Web because I watched a Happy, Sad, Confused episode with Sydney Sweeney, and she basically said that the only reason that they got to do Anyone But You was because of her relationship with Sony that she established during Madam Web.
So pretty cool.
I'll take it. I mean, small victories, small victories. So my honorable mentions, man, this was tough. There was a lot of changing over the last couple days of some top 10, like really thinking about it.
Yeah.
And there were a couple that I really expected to be my top 10 that ultimately were not, and now are honorable mentions. So the first of which I would like to say is Civil War. Now, I think I'm the only one sitting at this table that has seen it. We're going to have to watch it at some point. It's not the greatest movie ever, but I put it in here in my honorable mentions specifically because the sound design in that movie was unbelievable. Like, and it starts out in IMAX, was where I watched it, and you like hear like different spots where they're hitting all the speakers and showing you like the surround sound, and they like film the gunshots in like they just put blanks in guns and shot them in this like concrete. I don't know if it's like between 2 parking garages or what exactly it is, but it sounds amazing because they captured it like real on set. So that one I think takes the cake in terms of sound design, and it's actually I think up for an Oscar for sound design, and I really hope that it takes it home. My second honorable mention here is Carry On, which is a Netflix film, and I don't know if you guys have seen Carry On, but it came out like right around Christmas time, and I only watched this movie because Taron Egerton was the lead in it. And it was really, really well done. Like, it was so good. I really, really enjoyed Carry On. And then my third honorable mention, and this one was like really teetering on the edge of making my top 10, and it is The Bike Riders. Because that movie...
It was surprising.
It was very good. I almost like wanted to count it out specifically because it's technically a 2023 movie that didn't even get released until like June because of all the crap that goes on. But that one, if you've never seen The Bike Riders, definitely recommend. It was super, super good. My fourth honorable mention is Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, which honestly, after watching it, I think was in my top 10 for a good part of the year.
Yeah.
It's just a ton of fun. I actually rewatched it the other day. It's just good. And all those movies, they're just so fun to watch.
They are really fun.
They're just a really good time. And then I'm going to take it all the way back to the first movie of 2024, or the first new movie of 2024 that we watched, which was The Beekeeper.
Oh, wait. We had so much fun watching The Beekeeper.
We had so much fun watching The Beekeeper.
It's the Jason Statham movie where
Yeah.
There's a line where doesn't Josh Hutcherson say something like, I don't know, he like fucks with beehives.
Something like that.
He says something like that in the movie, and we're like, he didn't just say that. That's not a line in this movie.
Yeah. But the whole deal with the beekeeper is hilarious, and it was a great way to start off 2024 with a bang. Was watching the beekeeper, and it. I don't know that it was as. The problem is that Jason Statham just kind of makes the same sort of movie over and over again. I think there's even one about to come out.
Yes, there is.
In the next couple weeks as we're recording this. But the beekeeper, if you haven't seen it, which it was a pretty big movie. Like I know that was a pretty big deal for a little while at the beginning of 2024. A lot of fun. Definitely recommend that one.
The Meme Keeper.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to go through like rewatches or first time watches before we get into the top 10, or just go into the top 10?
We could do some of the other ones if you want to.
I mean,
You got those ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
oh, well, I'll let you kick us off. Let's start with maybe best first time watches. So something like older that you watched for the first time in 2024.
Go through all three.
Or one, and we can take turns. Yeah, you go,
Start with 3.
you can just go with all three.
This year I've been a couple years behind with movies, so I saw a bunch of 2022, 2023 movies. A few 2024. I actually have 9
Well, you found another one?
that I've.
I told you there
Did
was
you look
more
at
than
my
you
list
thought.
and find another one? Just a
Yeah,
second?
yeah.
You should have just scrolled through my letterbox.
Yeah,
You could have found one that we watched together,
Probably.
hit with Christian, and it would show you everything that we watched together.
I think I've got.
I keep
all
my
of them.
tags really organized.
You
on
do.
Letterboxd.
I'm jealous.
But one I saw, I think I saw it on January 1st, but I'm counting it as watching it last year.
Yeah.
There Will Be Blood.
Okay.
Okay.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's one I've never seen. That's on my list to watch.
It is amazing. Daniel Day-Lewis is insane. And also Paul Dano is really good in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
So if you like gritty,
If you like mustaches.
yeah, and kind of westerns with a little bit of a cowboy-less twist to them, I think you'll really like this movie. I was just blown away with the acting. Like, it's like the storyline, really good. A lot of people are disappointed by the time they get to the end, but also there's just such like mastery of the filmmaking craft in this movie with the acting, with the cinematography, with everything. Even if you're just like disappointed in major things in the movie, you just have to give it 5 stars.
Just
So
being
that's-
in it is what's
that's
good,
that's what
basically.
happened to me on Letterboxd. I was like, I don't like how that ended. There's a lot of stuff it wasn't my favorite, but wow, that was like excellent in every regard. So
Yeah.
that was my number 3 rewatch this year, or watching for the first time.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had 3, and we've already talked about one of these, so I'll go ahead and start with it. And they're not in any particular order or anything either. But my best first time watches, I put The Fog. I liked The Fog enough that it made
We
my
have-
top 3 for
Dude,
things that I watched for the first time last year.
We have to watch Big Trouble in Little China.
We do. We
I'm telling
really
you.
need to. Yeah, it was so good. I mean, that one really stuck out as one that, because I even looked through a bunch of the stuff that we did for Rated R as first time watches, because the majority of them were. And that one was one that, like really stuck out for one that I had watched for the first time last year. And that, there may be some bias because the story takes place on my birthday.
I forgot about that.
But I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, and we need to watch it again sometime soon.
I agree. Okay, so my number 3 on that is the original Beetlejuice, which I haven't ever seen before, but I watched it this year.
I still have not seen it,
And,
but I've seen Beetlejuice.
And it was good, but I don't know. The thing that I loved about it was Michael Keaton, and just see it. This. I love seeing an actor just literally go insane, like just balls to the wall, acting crazy. I mean, obviously the character is crazy. But I don't know. There's one monologue that he has where I was like, I've never seen like someone do that, like go that far in a movie, and I just loved it. So, and I'm like, I should have been watching this for a long time, and I'm definitely gonna be rewatching it year to year.
We'll have to. I still haven't watched it, so we'll have to watch it sometime. Maybe it'll make my list for next year.
Okay.
All right, Christian.
Number 2, last week, Asteroid City.
Yes.
Nice.
That was. I wish I would have watched it in theaters in 2023. It's 2023 movie.
I think, did I go watch that one as by myself, or did I just watch that as? I think I went and watched it by myself. I couldn't remember if it was like a screen unseen.
I think
or
it
not.
was, and then you made me go back and watch it.
I don't remember if I don't know that it was when I watched it though. Now that I'm thinking
Maybe
about it,
you maybe just
I'm
went to
not-
go see it and then said, "You
Yeah.
gotta go see this."
I just thought it was awesome.
was a lot of fun.
It's fun and cool and different.
The alien scene. I'm telling you, man. The first time that I saw that in theaters, I lost my mind. And it's like, it takes a lot for me to really like go crazy while I'm sitting there. I laughed my butt off at that. It was so funny. And I think maybe even funnier was the song that the kid wrote about the alien, because that came out of left field.
It really
like,
did.
just out of nowhere. So fun.
And you still sing it all the time.
Dear alien who art in heaven. All right.
That's a good one though.
Yeah. So I have another first time watch here. And the reason that we watched it at all in 2024 was because there was a sequel coming out. Actually, the next 2 of these have some sort of a
Okay.
sequel coming out. And the first one that I'm going to talk about is Twister.
Okay.
Because Twister
Yes.
it was the first time I'd ever watched Twister. And it's really good. Like I can understand the hype for Twister.
Yeah.
Like it was so good. And you know, it got me excited to watch the second one, which I think in terms of which one I like better, I would probably say the second one. But the first one, man, like because when did that come out?
96.
I mean, that was some serious like special effects
It's
and stuff
impressive.
they had going on.
It's still
for
impressive.
1996. Yeah, I mean, it still holds up today. They made a tornado look absolutely terrifying, and I almost think maybe they did a better job in parts of making it seem scarier.
Yeah, more monster-like in a
but
way.
than they did in the second one. Mm-hmm. But a lot of
Agree with
fun.
that. Okay. Mine is also a rewatch because I rewatched some of these leading up to the Godzilla and Kong movie. I watched Kong Skull Island, and I think one day, like maybe 10 years ago, or like whenever it first came out, I maybe started watching part of it when it was on.
I almost put
FX.
that in my list.
We have the movies, but I sat down and watched the full movie on Blu-ray, and it looks amazing on Blu-ray, and it's just such a, I don't know, it's just a cool movie. And some
Yeah.
of it's, cheesy, and some of it's, it's not a perfect movie, but it is really fun. And it's definitely going to be one that I'm re-watching, essentially.
Yeah, that's one that you watched. I'd almost made my list. I had a couple that I was kind of wanting to talk about other than that. But I think you maybe bought it on Blu-ray and then watched it, and you gave it to me and were like, you need to watch this. And I brought it home.
Because it was impressive as a Blu-ray.
I brought it home, and that was like, I think maybe it may have been right before I got my subwoofer, or maybe right after I got the subwoofer. But that opening scene of all like the gunfire and stuff that's going on
It's crazy.
It sounds unbelievable on a surround sound, and it was so fun. I have it on 4K now. In fact,
Yeah.
I bought all 4 of them, I think, when they had like some kind of special deal going on. So, yeah, those have I don't know, since Godzilla -1, I've become like somewhat enamored with Godzilla. And that one is just specifically King Kong, which I'm not quite as big of a fan of.
Yeah.
But he's growing on me. He's growing on me. They really have like focused on him a lot too after that movie. All right, Christian. Back to you, bud.
Number 1
Yeah.
movie that I saw for the first time in 2024. 2 honorable mentions first. I just
Okay.
went through my letterboxd. 2016 South Korean horror film The Wailing.
Oh, okay.
It's awesome.
I think I've heard someone else talk about that.
Yeah, you have. It was Christian.
It's really cool.
No, I feel like I heard someone like on a movie podcast assessors. I just tried to say the word podcast. Did you hear what just came out of my mouth? I said podcast. Please don't play this back. It sounded horrible.
I'm going to cut it and replay it.
Here, let me do the correct podcast. There. Now put that in where I fumbled.
It's too much work. Yeah.
So they go out and catch a whale?
No. Wailing.
Oh, right.
Man.
Okay. The whaling.
It's
The wailing.
really unnerving. But it's South Koreans have figured out
What's scary?
like
Dude,
movie making.
they make good
They
movies.
do make really good
They
movies.
make good movies. And shows.
Second, that I was thoroughly surprised by this year. The way we find movies is a lot of times just like Reddit, and people will rave about certain movies,
Yeah.
like specifically ones that don't get a lot of discussion
Yeah.
elsewhere. One that we really enjoyed this year was a 2022 movie called "You Won't Be Alone," which is about a 18th century, I think, witch in Macedonia, but it's like not necessarily a horror. There are horror aspects to it, but it's much more drama from the perspective of a witch.
Interesting.
And it's about what it means to be human.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I thought that one was amazing. But the number one movie
For your first time watches?
for my first time watch
Okay.
this year, I think is probably in my top 5 movies of all time right now. And it is a 2005
Jesus Christ.
film
Yeah, go ahead and say it.
starring and directed by
An old man.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Do you already know what this is?
Yes.
Oh.
And the movie is The Three Burials of Melquiades Estrada.
Oh, I heard you talking to Braxton about that the other day.
I've told him to watch it about 15 times
No, and I haven't. I'm sorry.
because when I saw it, I was like, Braxton, it's an
This is
obscure
like
movie.
So number one, I already love that.
Yeah.
It's very obscure. It's a very obscure Western shot on a low budget. Essentially, it is Tommy Lee Jones playing a West Texas rancher whose ranch hand gets shot, and he goes on this journey to try to like make the guy who shot him basically like atone for his sin of killing an innocent man. And it is, I don't know, I think it punches way above its weight for what it was made for.
But I love movies like that. You know?
It has no business being that good. Like, I've
Right.
never heard of it. I've never heard anybody talk about it. It just came, I think Max just got it in the last couple of weeks. It was just like one of the movies that was dumped on there, the old movies they always get.
I'll have to check
And I
that
gave
out.
it a chance. And after watching
pleasantly
it, I
surprised.
watched it like 2 or 3 more times.
Dang. That's cool. I'll have to check that out. So my last first time watch, which I had more than this, I just picked out 3, was Alien. And we got to watch that before Alien Romulus.
yeah.
And I'd never seen Alien before. I'd never seen any of the Alien movies before. And so we went back before Alien Romulus came out and watched the first one. I think it was me, you, and Matt that were over at my house that we watched that. And it was very impressive for when that movie came out that they made Alien. Like the visual effects look amazing. The set design, I think, was my biggest
that
wow.
was
really
fun.
it was so cool. I don't know how that they pull all that stuff off sometimes, but it was super, super, super cool. And I'm still wanting to watch Aliens. I don't know when we're going to get to that.
Yeah, we
but,
need to.
But we've talked about it several times and just haven't got to it. So who knows? That one may, at this point, might be a first time watch for next year. So once again.
Okay. My number one is a film that a lot of people hate called Van Helsing.
You did really enjoy that movie.
It's one of those movies that I'd never seen it. My friend Jacob always told me I should watch Van Helsing because it's great. He said, if you like The Mummy, I guarantee you're gonna love Van Helsing. And it's like all the like good parts about The Mummy and like all the parts about The Mummy were like, okay, they kind of pushed it a little far.
The other side of the river. You just love saying that.
Yeah. And like everything about The Mummy, the good and like the not so good, is escalated like times 10. And it's very campy. A lot of the special effects do not hold up. The lore that they try to build in the movie is absolutely insane. And it's Hugh Jackman, has a crossbow and he fights Dracula and Frankenstein. And it's exactly what that movie would be when it was made in 2004 or whatever it was made. So, we need to watch it come next Halloween because it's crazy and it's fun.
I have one more that I watched for the first time this year.
Okay.
That was unfortunately brought to my attention because of some serious investigation I had given to a certain kidnapping at a certain fast food chain in a certain town in Canada in relation to a certain podcast.
Right. Mm-hmm. Related to McDonald's.
Yeah.
We don't want to push it too far, but...
And that led me to watching an 80s made-for-TV movie called Gone in a Heartbeat,
Oh, no.
a.k.a. Taken Away, starring James Marsden as the kidnapper.
What?
Before he got famous.
Oh my God.
Really?
He's the one that's in Sonic the Hedgehog, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And Hop and X-Men.
And Jury Duty.
And that's crazy that he was in Jury Duty. Like, he's a real actor.
Have you seen it?
No, but I don't understand how he was in it.
Because he was playing himself. Like,
Oh, that's right. He was playing himself. Damn it. I forgot about that. I need to watch it.
but just in case if you are on Tubi, and if you see Gone in a Heartbeat, you can skip that one.
Okay, great.
It wasn't good.
No.
No.
Okay. That was the main thing I wanted to know. All right, let's get into our top 10. I'm tired of waiting.
Okay.
Does anyone want to start first? I know Christian only has 9, so maybe me or you should start first, and we can kind of rotate around.
Yeah.
Do you want me to start first, and then we can go?
Yeah, that's fine.
way?
Yeah, go for it.
Hold on.
Whatever. We can do a
My
snake.
number 10 is Furiosa Mad Max Saga. Now, I was slightly disappointed in this. It wasn't as good as I hoped it would be, but I don't know. The way that George Miller makes movies and how his stuff looks so like unique and is always like weird and beautiful.
Yeah.
It definitely had that. So I was pleased, when I left. And
That one's
I'm just
actually-
glad that he made another movie.
Yeah.
He's like 80 something years old. Like, I'm just glad that he made another one and I was able to go see it.
Yeah, that one is one that I don't know. Like, we watched the first Mad Max, and I know you love that movie. Christian loved that movie. I, for whatever reason, I don't know. Like, I understand, I guess, why people like it. It just doesn't tick a box for me, I guess, because, like, I wasn't super impressed with the first one. And Furiosa, while, I mean, you get to see Chris Hemsworth.
Probably do the best performance he's ever given. Probably.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. Just something about it I'm just not a big fan of. So, for whatever reason. Now, my number 10 in my top 10 is a movie that I loved this year that other people did not maybe love quite so much. And it was tough for me not to put it in my top 10, but it was also tough to justify putting it in my top 10. So I went off of, I really liked this movie. And so it is going to go in my top 10. And that movie is M. Night Shyamalan's Trap.
Yeah.
When I saw that with you, you told me that was the best movie you had seen in a long time.
I loved it. I watched it the first time by myself and just like really, really enjoyed it. I mean, is it his best movie? No, but I mean, I liked it better than some of the more recent stuff that he's done. Like I liked it better than Knock at the Cabin. And I know that one like is pretty high up there on people's lists. It didn't have like the greatest twist ever, but I really enjoyed the twist at the end because it was, you know, so close to home for him ultimately. And it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed Trap.
My number 10 is non-existent, so I'm moving to number 9, which is one of only 9 movies that I saw this year, streaming or in theaters. And that was Wicked.
Okay.
Not a huge musical person, but also I didn't really know what was going on sometimes, just because I didn't know the background and the lore and like what the people actually mean. And also, I got talked into going to see that in the middle of the SEC championship game. And so I was
For real?
checking score in overtime.
How did you let that happen?
In some pivotal moments in the movie, so I may have missed
So that makes you biased against it.
a little bit of loose end, so I might be slightly biased against it.
Okay.
That's wicked, bro.
So my number 9, which I'm pretty sure I'm once again the only person that watched this that's sitting here, is a movie by a director that I'd never even really heard of, but it had some big name actors and actresses in it. And one thing that people talk about with this movie is how good the score is. That it has like a very unique score and people went crazy for this. And I can understand why on a second watch, it almost got annoying because it seemed like it was just kind of the same thing like over and over again. I watched it at home, like really, really enjoyed it. Maybe even liked it better than I did in theaters. And it is Challengers. So Challengers tennis movie stars Zendaya. Although I would loosely say it stars Zendaya.
She puts her foot on somebody's head, right? Didn't she do something like that?
No, they have a threesome.
Well, I know,
When
but
she makes the two guys kiss each other.
oh, right, okay.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not really a threesome. Like that's kind of how it's set up to be. It ultimately ends with them kissing each other, and then she like bolts.
No, that's funny.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But I mean,
Now I may be bad.
it's one that people say like Zendaya's a star in it. I mean, I think it's the two guys are more the stars. She's almost like a side character in it at times. It feels like, but yeah, Challengers is one that we need to watch because I own it and it's a lot of fun. Like it's a really good movie. There's some really cool cinematography stuff in it. They have a scene in there where they're playing tennis towards the end and you become the ball. Like the camera becomes
Like
the
in the B
ball
movie?
for a minute, sort of. Yeah. But the camera like becomes the ball. So you can see it like going over, hitting the court, bouncing up, you hit a rack. It's really freaking cool. I don't know how exactly that they pulled it off. There's a behind the scenes video, I think on YouTube and maybe like on a special features or something, but it was super, super cool.
I think that happens also in one of the Beethoven movies where you become the
Oh,
dog
my.
as he's like knocking people over. So I love when cinematographers go.
the Beethoven.
I don't know if I've ever seen a Beethoven movie, but okay. I'll take your word for it.
Oh, that's so good. The dog POV.
All right, Bryson.
My number
you're
9
up,
is Tim Allen's The Shaggy Dog. No,
bud. It's a bold claim.
if it was. Okay, my number 9 is A Complete Unknown.
Oh,
Okay.
it's a good one.
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the music. Obviously, was my favorite part. I mean, obviously, it's a music biopic. I mean, I learned stuff I didn't know. I like to learn a little bit more of the history. I love any period piece just because I think they're cool. I love watching and seeing how they, transform stuff to be a time in the far past or the recent past. It's interesting. It did, of course, feel like Dewey Cox, of course. I mean, it had to, right?
Dewey Cox time.
And so but I don't think that took, if you know that's what it is going into it, you don't feel like disappointed in it. You know what I mean? If you know that's what it's going to be. And that's what most biopics are. But for even being what it was, I had a really good time and liked watching it.
Yeah, it's so freaking good. So my number 8 is one that honestly, the only thing that I really like very strongly and vividly remember about this movie is leaving the theater and we were freaking jacked about it. Was like, that was so good. And it is The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yeah,
It's
we
one
are.
that-
But the bad thing is, I haven't thought about it a day since. I loved watching it.
I've
when we
wanted to
did.
watch it again. I just I don't know. I never brought myself to buy it.
You would like it.
It's fun and it's good. And I don't even necessarily know that it belongs in my top 10. I legitimately have just had it there all year and couldn't justify a reason to take it out.
I know.
So I just.
But
left
you're right.
it.
We when we saw it that time, we really did love it.
It was so good. I'm looking directly at my camera here. It was so freaking fun. Okay, go watch The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare ASAP.
8.
Yeah.
My number 8 was Trap,
Nice.
which I did watch in theaters with you. Thought it was another respectable installment of the Shyamalan.
The universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we still need to watch a lot of them for you because you
I haven't seen
haven't
hardly
seen
any.
very many of them.
What have you not seen?
All of them.
The Village?
I've never seen any of them. I don't really like Shyamalan, but I've never seen much of it.
That was it.
I assume that I don't like Shyamalan.
Have you seen anything besides Knock at the Cabin?
And you haven't seen The Village?
No.
He's never seen The Village. He's never seen Signs. He's never seen Sixth Sense.
Oh my.
He's never seen Split, Unbreakable, Glass, Old.
Split is insane.
I've never seen any.
He's never seen any of them. I'm telling you, he's seen Knock
you know
at the
which-
Cabin
you know
because
which
we
one
went
I
to
wanna
watch
watch
it, and
the
that's
most?
it.
Is Signs.
Signs is fun.
Because I feel like I'll have a lot of fun with Signs. But I
Signs
want to
is-
watch The Village.
Signs
too.
is fun, and they have them on. I think they have that and Sixth Sense on 4K that I need to order.
And it would make Scary Movie 3 make a lot more sense.
You're absolutely right. It would, because I have seen Scary Movie 3, and I was like, I think this is Signs.
Oh man,
And then going to my number 7, it is another Shyamalan movie. But his daughter, she directed a movie this year, a horror movie called The Watchers.
did that come out this year? I thought it came out in 23.
It's listed as 2024.
Oh, I watched that as well. It was good. It was weird.
It was really weird.
I thought the twist was good in that though.
It's like in Scotland, Ireland.
Something like that.
Oh, we're just
I'm
a
not
bunch
sure
of
that it ever-
watchers.
But I'm not even sure that it ever really specifies.
Yeah, it's
Oh, it doesn't specify.
She's just like in the middle of a forest and like walks into this like
can't
I don't know.
can't find her way out. She finds a house,
but it's
like a building out there.
It's like a cursed
yeah,
like place. So she passes these signs that are like
Signs.
turn around, don't enter, and you basically like get in this like I don't
Loop
know
thing,
magical
sort of.
perimeter that you can't escape from. It was good. It was fun. You're also supposed to do 2. I forgot
What?
when we do Snake.
Oh, whoops.
So
you
we're
can do
good.
3.
You can do 3 on the next one.
Pressure.
So much power.
Pressure.
So my
Pressure pushing me.
My number
Master
7.
discuss.
My number 7 is A Complete Unknown. And I honestly probably could have put this one higher up on my list, but dude,
higher on your list?
so I think
That was Bob Dylan.
I think I actually found a movie because I thought I'd watched 101 in 2023, and I think I found one that I forgot to put in my ranking at one point. So I think I actually watched 102. I think this past year I watched 68 or 69, something like that. So I still watched like a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. Some of them were not in theaters that were in my 2024 list, but I went to the theaters a bunch still. But yeah, A Complete Unknown, very, very good. Timothy Chalamet is just great.
I had a lot against him at the beginning of his career, but he's a good actor.
Dude,
he's just a good
He's
actor.
really freaking
He's
good.
proven himself
And
to me. Not that he had to,
and,
but
and he's really freaking good in this movie too.
Yeah.
They played like all the music live to tape, which I thought was really neat. And I mean, Monica Barbaro by herself is just enough to get this in the top 10. So.
Jesus Christ.
I did get a like or something on my review the other day that you were like, that's the one that people would like.
I told you because see on his Letterboxd review he said something about like
I said Monica Barbaro, marry me with a heart eye emoji.
and I was like, that's the type of review that like gets like 1 million likes for like no reason.
Yeah.
Like not saying that's not a good review. It's good. It's funny.
Yeah.
But that's
Well,
the
I
review
already
that people end up
But I already
liking.
reviewed it once, so
Yeah.
I usually give a relatively serious one on the first one, and then from there on out, it's just a toss up.
Can you I really hope that one of us one day on Letterboxd like, gets like those like 5,000-10,000 like likes.
Me too.
And where our review is like up at the top.
Me too. My friend Garrett got featured on their like homepage, like their Discover page or whatever the other day.
Yeah.
So he's got
cool.
like I think he's got like over 1,000 followers now. I think on Letterboxd, which is pretty freaking cool.
Dang.
So like it's tough to find people like unless you just have like a
Yeah, that's
featured
that's
review
a
or
feature
something.
they need to work on. And collaborative playlists. I mean, come on.
that too, not playlist, but just lists.
Yeah, sorry, I said playlist because I was thinking about
Spotify.
like what you can do on Spotify. It just needs to be like that.
Yeah.
Come on, do it. You promised it a year ago.
Yeah, but it was really good. I've listened to the album a bunch. I've gotten into some Bob Dylan stuff after watching Complete Unknown. Very good, very good. I took my dad; he loved it.
Oh,
And I
you're
think-
saying you're a fan now.
I think one of our favorite things that we talked about after we watched out of it, or after we walked out of the movie, was just the sheer number of songs in that movie.
yeah,
which was
I like that as well.
like it was very dense. Like sometimes you'll have a musical number and then there'll be some stuff that happens and then you'll have another musical number. This one was like musical number, musical number, musical number, and they played the whole thing for the most part. Like you'd maybe get like a tease of something here and there that was going to come up later in the movie, but other than that, very very densely packed with songs, which I really enjoyed.
All right, number 8 is the the Bike Riders. Okay, this movie was
It's so good.
really, it was surprisingly good. We're like, yeah, let's go see the Bike Riders, whatever. It has Tom Hardy again doing a weird voice.
I did reread my review, and
Yeah.
I specifically said Tom Hardy still does not sound anything like I would think he would.
No, he still does a weird voice, but I was able to understand him. I mean, think about it. This movie has it has the two weird voice guys going head to head. Tom Hardy and what's Elvis's name?
Austin Butler.
Austin Butler.
Austin Butler doesn't have a weird voice.
No, but he does weird voices in most of his stuff. Now,
I guess.
but I don't know. It was really
he does
good.
his like Fade Rotha in Dune 2. But I
May-
don't know. I think that's just part
May
of
thy
it.
bike chip and shatter. I should put that as my review and then get 1 million likes on
Yeah,
Bike Riders.
yeah, you
right?
should.
That totally will
I'll
happen.
put it on TikTok and we'll see if that one blows up. Yeah.
But but it's a very simple movie, but it was well made, and I walked out going, I think that might sneak its way into the top 10, and it did.
Yeah, the Rack Biters.
My next one after that is Beetlejuice, which again wasn't perfect. It's got some weird
I really
editing and
enjoyed
other. There's too many like plot lines going on, but the comedy in it just makes me laugh. I like it, and and it's fun again seeing Michael Keaton again. And anytime that they break out like in a musical number in it, which happened like 3 times and I didn't expect it, it got funnier. And that's kind of what got me, is when it's like, why are there elaborate musical numbers that shouldn't be in this movie?
Yeah.
And then it happened like 3 times over. That probably made some other people like not like it, but it made it more like endearing to me. But yeah.
That one, considering I hadn't seen the first, I really, really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Because you almost needed to have a little bit of experience and like knowledge about the first movie.
Because it's odd.
Well, but there's also like so many old characters and stuff.
Yeah, it's
in
tons
it.
of that
and
stuff.
so like some of that, you kind of need to have at least a little backstory for. It didn't take me out of the movie. I still understood everything that was going on. It was very solid. It's not in my top 10, but
Okay.
it was. I wouldn't say that it was my biggest surprise of the year, but it was probably up there in terms of that, considering how much I liked it. Because
Right.
I mean, that kind of stuff I would never really, think of myself as being like, yeah, that's something that I would really enjoy to watch.
Yeah. So my number 6 is Romulus. And
That one actually got booted out of my top 10.
I don't know. I thought about taking it out, but I don't know. here's the thing. It was really, really good.
It was good.
And it didn't, like I said this before, it didn't scare me, but it might be one of the most like disturbing movies I've ever seen.
Also, just right at the end.
And but at the end, but there are other parts in it that got me too.
Wait till you watch The Substance, my friend.
I don't know if I want to watch The Substance after your review, but
No, you should watch it. You
no,
might
I don't
actually
know.
like it.
I'll probably like it, just like Alien Romulus. But then I might be like, I don't know if I want to watch that again.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
But I don't know. It succeeded with what it was needed to be, and I thought it was a really good, legacy sequel.
Yeah, very, very solid. So my number 6 is actually it's a 2023 movie, but it didn't come
Illegal.
It didn't come anywhere that we could watch it until 2024. I think it came out on Netflix in like March or April, maybe even May of 2024. So I'm counting it on my 2024 list because I haven't got to talk about it. And my number 6 movie might have one of my favorite performances of the whole year, just in terms of like how much it made me laugh and like geek out and like want to show everyone the movie. And it was so much fun. It has probably one of the best scenes that I saw this year, just like in terms of like sheer enjoyment for a specific scene and sequence that you're seeing, and sort of not hearing in that one because what they're talking about is a completely different thing than what is like being shown on screen, which is really cool. And it is Hitman with Glenn Powell and
Oh yeah,
Adria Arjona, I think is her name.
sure.
Something like that. Yeah, Hitman, super, super good. I'm pretty sure it's still on Netflix. I'm waiting for a freaking... I saw a deal that said it was going to get released by Arrow on 4K in like March, and then that went away. So I don't know what the plan is. I really
hope
want
it
it to get a
does.
physical release because it's so good. And if I ever either stop paying for Netflix or Netflix like does something stupid and takes it off, like it's just not going to be available anywhere, which sucks. So I hope it comes out on physical media.
My number 6 was a straight to Hulu release. Psychological thriller / horror called Hold Your Breath with Sarah Paulson and The Dust Bowl.
That's what it's about.
Mm-hmm. And it's about like the man that is, I forget what he's called, but he's like
The dust of the bowl.
the man in the dust. And
What's it called?
Hold Your Breath. I thought it was pretty good.
Is that it's not a horror movie?
It is kind of like a horror movie, but it's not. I mean, it's not just dead set on jump scares or terrifying you or anything.
Interesting. I'm adding this to my.
My aunt is also in it. She is one of the actresses sitting in the sewing circle with
That's cool.
Sarah Paulson. So that's a cool thing with that movie. And my number 5, I am not a Marvel person, but I thought this movie was hilarious. That is Deadpool and Wolverine.
It had some really good moments.
Yeah, it did. It was super, super good. We'll get to that on my list in just a minute. But my number 5 movie is one that I don't know that I had seen any of the movies before we decided to go and see this. And I think we watched the original plus the new one in the like new series, and maybe the trilogy in the new series as well. Christian's over here messing with my list.
And it's called Better Man.
No. I mean, it might as well have been. But this
Exactly.
was significantly better. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Just super good. I think it's the best one of the franchise.
I kind of
I'm pretty sure that's what I wrote in my review. And you know, I don't know. I'd seen trailers, I think, for like the new series of these that were coming out.
Yeah.
And thought, that looks stupid. Why would I ever want to watch that? And you had bought like a box set of them and were like, no, they're like really good. We need to watch them. So we watched the first one, which, for when that movie came out, really cool. I mean, there are people clearly in monkey suits, but you get the gist, and even the prosthetics and stuff that they did for the first one, really cool. And then the CGI, it just seems like it gets better and better with every one of these. And I think this movie is probably advancing CGI in a way that most other movies are not. It's really, really cool. I mean, you literally had Better Man, which was a movie that just came out recently that was a huge flop. That's a biopic about Robbie Williams, where I'm pretty sure they used the technology that was developed in these movies.
I wonder, 2 years from now or 3 years from now, if that's going to come out, how did they get the technology to make him a monkey? And did they break into the lab, the CGI lab, and steal the Planet of the Apes technology?
I don't know if they stole it. I know,
I'm joking. They paid for it.
But yeah. I'm pretty sure that
it'd be funny if they stole it.
I'm pretty sure that is exactly what they use, because I mean it's almost indistinguishable from what you see in Planet of the Apes. But I mean, dude, those movies, I know this one's going to be high up on your list because I know how you feel about it, but very, very good. Yeah. Very good.
Okay, my number 5 is Dune 2. I feel like it should be higher. Last year I felt like Dune should have been higher. But the truth is, I enjoy them. They're phenomenal. If I was being objective, it probably is the best movie of the year. But this is not an objective list; it's a subjective list. Yeah. That being said,
how does it make you feel?
It's an amazing movie that I would say is nearly perfectly made.
I told you, the only thing that I have a problem with Dune Part 2 is there's a sequence where he goes on this quest.
I agree.
And there's a huge gap in the story.
The time is kind of confusing.
It doesn't really matter ultimately in the end, but you could have had another 15 minutes of him with Zendaya going through and doing stuff, and I feel like
doing stuff. And
I love that movie, and it's in my top 3. But that's the only qualm that I had with it was that.
Yeah. But beautifully shot, extremely well executed, well acted.
Timothy Chalamet again?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just glad that I'm glad that sci-fi, straight sci-fi like Dune, is still getting made. Just makes me happy at the end of the day.
And we get another one.
Okay,
we get another one before too long.
So my number 4 is a movie called Y2K.
I knew you were going to put that in your top 10.
It's not that great of a movie. It's very stupid. It's very campy. But oh my God, did it make me laugh when I saw it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else would even like it. I'm not even going to recommend it to people because I know a lot of people probably wouldn't like it. But I liked it. And it fits my, I guess I'm the demographic for that movie. I don't know. But I enjoyed it.
I mean, I would say that you are the demographic for that movie.
I think I am.
So, because I watched it as well, and it was funny.
Yeah.
Was it great? Did I I had a good time, but would I have ever put it in my top 10? Absolutely not. No.
And the fact that I put it above Dune 2, that's pretty heinous.
Wild.
I put it on my list.
People are going to come for you for that one.
Look, I know that's wrong, but I'm speaking my truth.
That's a Y2K quote if I ever heard one.
And the truth is I have to put it above Dune 2.
Yeah. My number 4 movie for 2024. I mean, this is a franchise that I'm not even sure, maybe until this movie, if I was head over heels about, just because it is so vulgar.
What is this?
And my number 4 movie is Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, okay. Yes, it is. It is.
And I remember watching Deadpool and Deadpool 2. I think I watched Deadpool 2 in theaters, and I was like, this is kind of gross.
Yeah.
Not necessarily but some of the stuff that they do, where he loses his legs or his arms or something, and they grow back some of that stuff. I just I'm not real crazy about. I don't know. It's almost like body horror in a way.
Yes.
That's one reason why I don't like The Substance.
Yeah.
Is that it just
Except in
gross.
Deadpool, it's body horror played for laughs.
Yes,
which
absolutely.
is wild.
Yeah, and it's fine. But Deadpool and Wolverine, I think maybe because not necessarily because of Hugh Jackman, but maybe because of some of the things that they did to differentiate it from like the first two movies that really kind of set it. I feel like set it apart. Were just so much fun. I loved it. It felt more like a true Marvel movie rather than a Deadpool movie, which I really enjoyed. They brought back some cool characters, or ones that were like never even saw the screen.
You're right.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That comes like I'm
Super,
super
name
good.
for myself.
Yeah. I'm about to make a name of myself. There's so many quotes. It's so fun, and I think it's potentially going to spawn some like a Gambit movie or something like that, which will be pretty darn cool.
Next Morbius.
If somehow they manifest that, that'd be pretty cool. I don't think that would be the next Morbius.
I think it has pretty potential to be the next Morbius. No, it doesn't. It's not the next Morbius, but it would be the next Madam Web.
I don't know. We'll see. Do you just want to hold it? Give me like put this away. Okay.
Just testing some different
Positions.
options. Yeah. What number? 4?
I think so.
You still expanding on yours? Or?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, my number 4,
I am number 4.
I admittedly did not like that much.
Your number 4 movie you didn't like that much.
But
I didn't see that many, but it grew on me after watching. And so just the summer flick, we needed a bad tornado movie really badly in this country.
we did.
So, but I think it's
not bad.
I think it's bad in like the best ways.
I didn't think it was bad in any way.
It's not. I don't know. Like, I don't want to say bad, but I think it makes fun of itself a little bit.
Yeah, it does. It's a little tongue in cheek.
Yeah. But I loved it, and I had a really good theater experience. The chairs stopped working
Oh,
halfway through the movie.
that sucks.
And also, when it was really dark in there, we were sitting in the front row, and this lady comes to the front with a flashlight, and she's like,
Chairs stopped
I can't
working?
see. Yeah, the recliners.
You're in the 4D.
Because we saw it here. Yeah.
No, this is not 4D.
What do you mean the chair stopped working?
The red recliner things
Oh,
in the theater here.
okay. The chair stopped working and a lady had a flashlight.
But Glenn Powell was the man. I just think it's really
He's-
funny that he was Autumn's graduation speaker. And so it's like,
That's so weird.
that's the guy that, yeah.
Yeah, I was once about probably 30 foot from him.
Oh, yeah.
And I walked by and because I didn't care. No,
Wow.
Where?
What a loser.
They,
At Sam
they
Houston,
came to
man.
Sam Houston when they made Everybody Want Some.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How stupid
Yeah.
is that?
Which I think is why it's like Garrett's favorite movie of
Yeah.
all time. Yeah.
Like, that's so stupid. Like, I
Loves
probably could have met him.
Yeah.
Why didn't I?
What a loser.
That's funny. Number 3. Did not see in theaters, regrettably, but I saw it again later. Dune 2,
Yeah.
which I saw after Dune 1, and I actually like Dune 1 better. Just
You
because of
are
the
insane.
Yeah, you're in the minority. But I know, actually, I have heard that from another friend
Yeah.
that they like doing one better.
You like a movie where nothing happens?
I think the opening 2 minutes of the first Dune
Is absolutely amazing.
is amazing.
Yeah, I
It puts that movie over. I think they're both really good. They're both really, really good.
My number 3 is also Dune Part 2.
You know what else is good about Dune Part 2? Is,
Elvis versus Bob Dylan.
well, yes, May Thy Guitar Chip and Shatter. I saw that meme. Have y'all seen that meme? No? Okay. But what
I don't know what you're going on.
I know, but I'm trying to remember his name, and I feel bad that I can't think of it. What is the actor's name who played
Josh Brolin.
no, the Spanish actor?
That place like Stilgar.
Yes, Stilgar. Yeah, what's his name?
Oh,
Anyway, he played the Bond villain, and he was also in the Crocodile movie
Yeah.
and No Country for Old Men.
and No Country for Old Men.
Javier Bardem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, Javier Bardem's like voice. What's so funny?
You butchered his name.
Javier Bardem?
That is not what you said a second ago.
Damn it. Now I look like a fool.
He's also the Spanish captain in the last Pirates movie.
Oh, that's right,
true.
he is.
Yeah.
But
He's also in a scene Crocodile movie.
yes, yes. But the accent that he uses in Dune 2 approaches levels of like of Bane's voice being funny to me. Like and also him generating so many memes of like him saying, "Listen again." Like
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I think that's all part of the juices that makes it work well.
Yeah. Yeah. Super good.
Also in Little Mermaid.
Yeah, he is. He's in the new Little Mermaid. He is Poseidon,
King Triton.
King Triton, whatever.
But
frick
yes,
that
he's
king.
Poseidon.
He's Poseidon, man. But yeah, Dune Part 2, amazing movie. I watched it on the way back from Mobile last year. Actually, I think for the first time, I stopped in Shreveport and watched it. And big screen, terrible audio. Don't really know what was going on there. But the sandworm scene in that, unbelievable. The final scene where he goes into the temple and like starts like going off on these people and like takes command of the people. Dude, that's probably some of the best acting I've ever seen. Like Timothée Chalamet is like, you cannot take your eyes off the screen during that scene. And like, I've seen this movie multiple times now, and every time I'm like, holy heck, dude, he is magnetic in that movie. So good.
Yep.
It made me want to watch more Denis Villeneuve movies.
I think you said it right, but for some reason that made me laugh. You said his name absolutely correctly.
Dang, I got laughed at for no reason. All right, your turn.
Y'all laughed at me.
Your turn. I think you're on 3.
Tom Hardy. Okay.
Shaking my head.
How do you say his name, though?
Denis Villeneuve.
Villeneuve, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as I'm aware,
I think that's right.
that is how you say it.
Because for a long time, people thought it was...
Denis Villeneuve.
But he's French, not...
Yeah.
It's the same thing with like, it's a... what's the director who made 1917?
Sam Mendes.
Yeah, people are like, it's Sam Mendes.
But
It's not
like
Mendes.
Sam.
Because we're American and we think Hispanic names are like, oh, Mendes. But
So you say Shawn Mendes.
It's Mendes or Mendes because they're British.
I don't like
Yeah,
that.
that's stupid. Shawn Mendes is...
But that's also,
He
I think,
pronounces his name correctly.
yes. Yeah. Mendes.
I don't like that.
Mendes. Yeah, I don't like that either. Anyway, go ahead.
I think that's that one scenario where someone tells you,
Oh, this is how you pronounce it,
My
and you're
name
like,
is
I don't think
actually,
you're right.
yeah, my name is actually said like this. You're like, no,
No.
we didn't. Yeah, no.
Absolutely not.
Robespierre. Okay. My number 3 is a film that no one else here has seen called The 4:30 Movie. As in like, the matinee showing, the 4:30 movie.
Okay.
It's a Kevin Smith movie. And I don't know, I like a lot of Kevin Smith's movies. He basically kind of tends to work with the same people and kind of essentially tells the same stories over and over again, but I like those stories, I guess. And this movie was basically with an all like younger, like new cast, essentially. And a lot of them were really good in the movie, and it was funny and interesting. So
Cool beans.
it's my number 3.
And that's one that came out this year?
Mm-hmm. It came out this year, but I don't think it was even like in a theater.
Oh. Okay. Your number 2?
My number 2 is Kingdom of the Battle of the Beneath of the War for the Battle of the Planet of the Apes. It was a great movie.
All right, enough said. No, shit.
No, it was amazing. It was beautiful. It was like you said,
was
I agree.
heartbreaking.
It's the best one in the series, and I'm really really curious as to where they're going to go from here, and I'm excited.
Yeah. What's the he's not, I guess he's not technically bald, but he's sort of bald. The bald monkey. You know that they meet like halfway through the movie.
Mm-hmm.
What was his name?
Maurice?
Isn't that the King?
Oh no! Wait.
Julian?
Well, why do I think his name is Maurice? Wait, wait. Because I must touch my feet. Hold on. Hold on. Raka.
You could not have been further away.
No,
Could not have been further away.
Maurice is the monkey in Rise.
Madagascar.
Yes, he's also the lemurs.
He's not a lemur.
Maurice is a lemur. He's a different type of lemur.
I'm pretty sure he's not a lemur.
He's a different type of lemur.
Google it.
I will.
I'm pretty sure Maurice is not a lemur, bro.
He's a lemur. He's just a different species.
Okay. They're all lemurs. And they just congregate in lemur land.
I guess. Damn it.
I told you he's not. What is he?
If you can tell me what he is,
I can't remember. He's a
there's no way you would know what he is. It's insane.
Wait.
he's not a lemur because he's the sidekick. He's not Mort.
Right, yes. He looks similar to a lemur, but apparently he is
he an
something
eye-eye?
called
Maurice.
an eye.
An eye.
Yeah.
They have those at the zoo.
Yep.
But he's not a lemur.
He's an eye.
And Mort is not a lemur either.
What is he? Let me see.
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he
An
is
alien?
also. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He just.
He's a mouse lemur. He's a different.
He is a lemur.
Yeah, but
Mort
it's
is,
something called
but
mouse
Maurice
lemur.
is not. Okay.
Well, now that we got that settled,
Yeah.
but Maurice is the name of the.
Maurice.
What's the monkeys with the big flaps? Orangutans. He's the orangutan in Rise.
Big flaps.
You know, like a fish.
R.I.P. Maurice.
R.I.P. Raka. That's the name of the guy. I think.
Did Raka die?
No spoilers.
My number 2 movie of 2024 is tornado flick that
Yes.
everyone needed. I loved Twisters. I don't understand what the hate is from this
No,
corner over here, but
He didn't say that he hated it. It's just
loved
like
Twisters. I thought it was amazing. My freaking team name for fantasy football this year was Not My First Tornado, which is from Twisters because he put it on shirts. I've almost bought one of those shirts several times. Glenn Powell's amazing. I love Daisy Edgar Jones. She is probably my current celebrity crush. Like she has the cutest British accent you've ever heard. She doesn't use it in Twisters, clearly. But like the technology and stuff they have in it is really cool. The G.I. Joe guy from Transformers is in it. I can't remember what his name is. He was also in Hamilton and some other stuff. But he was.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's in the last like Transformers movie. It's good, man. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I also really enjoyed like the live streaming aspect of it, where the viewers would be like, "Hey, go shoot fireworks off in the tornado," and they would go out there like filming the whole thing and be like, "Yeah, you can shoot fireworks." Like just ridiculous. Like I don't know who decided, like that's something that crazy tornado people would do, but it is like that's definitely something that crazy tornado people would do.
You know what I thought of that I never thought about before? I think that's literally maybe the first instance of internet culture being shown in a movie where I didn't go, "Oh, and like cringe at it and be like, that's so stupid. Get that out of my freaking movie. I think it's the first time I was like, oh no, that makes total sense. And that's exactly what it's like. Like on a live stream.
Yeah, someone donated $1,000 for us to shoot fireworks off in a tornado.
Like, I never thought about it before, but that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Where I was like, it might actually be the first movie to correctly integrate
It also
integrate
proved-
internet culture into it.
It also potentially proved that you can drive into the middle of a tornado and still have cell service.
Apparently, yes. Yeah, least realistic part of it that they could be in like rural Oklahoma and like still get somehow good enough service to live stream.
I mean,
That's the fakest part of the movie.
yeah, probably true. All right, you're up, bud.
I did see a tweet from a real storm chaser that said the most realistic or the least realistic part of it was that the storm chaser got a girlfriend.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Oh, that's so funny.
great.
But it was very realistic. There used to be
a girlfriend.
there used
And
to
a
be
hot girlfriend at that.
there used to be a show on Discovery called
course.
Storm Chasers,
Yes, there was.
and that made the whole storm chasing thing like
Yeah, it made it more popular for sure.
yeah, it made the
Well,
public
that
aware
Man Tracker.
to some extent. And they actually had a lot of.
But I actually got to even watch Man Tracker. I was trying to drive while we were watching it that night.
We can pull it up on Tubi sometime. They had a lot of consultants that were storm trackers, so they actually like focused on some science of it, and so I like that. I really like that part of the movie. What am I on, number 2?
Yes.
Okay. Well, my number 2 is my number 1 and 2 are like 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
So this is the top scripted one for me, and it is M. Night Shyamalan produced Caddo Lake, which
Okay.
was straight to streaming release on Max.
Yep.
And I watched it just because I was like, oh, I love Caddo Lake. Let me watch this. I also had an opportunity, which I passed up, to potentially be an extra in this movie. But I did not try to do that because I worked on another movie. And they did a lot of casting for extras and stuff in certain scenes locally. And it was filmed very close to here. And I didn't know what I was expecting. I knew that it was some sort of true crime mystery somewhere in there. And when I started watching it, it scratched an itch that I have not had a movie scratch in maybe ever. And I don't know if it's
really
like
itchy.
this. I don't know if it was the setting. I don't know if it was the plot. All of it. There's a point in the movie. I will say it's like a little bit of a slow burn as you try to figure stuff out. And then typical Shyamalan, anything he's involved in, there's going to be a point in that movie where everything you think like flips on its head. And when you finally get to that point, there's a space of like 2 to 3 minutes where it starts to turn that I think is amazing. Like it was my favorite scene of the entire year.
It was really good. Have you ever watched Dark?
No, I have not.
Okay.
But
it had like very similar vibes to Dark. And that's, I know that one that when we interviewed Steven for the question at hand, that was one that he had talked about watching was Dark. But it gave me Dark vibes, like not dark, but you know, the show Dark vibes.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. I actually own it. We found like a Chinese copy or something
In a game exchange. And it was,
here in town. That's what was crazy.
I know.
It wasn't like we were in some like big metropolitan area.
Yeah. It's one that someone bought off of like Amazon or Temu or
I
something.
bet
Who
they bought it
knows?
off like AliExpress.
Yeah.
I bet that's where you would get something like that from. But yeah, somehow I have a copy that, I mean, looks fine.
Yeah.
It has
now we gotta-
perma subtitles, but
We have a story behind it now, you know?
Yeah.
It's interesting that we have the.
yeah. But yeah.
So
kinda
what
like-
you're saying is it should be on my watch list.
yes.
And what I'm saying is I just added it to my watch list. So I remember.
Is 3 Burials on there?
Yes, it is.
Shogun,
Yes, it is.
American Primeval.
No.
Okay.
Anyway, your number one movie.
And my number 1 again, it's like 1A, 1B, but my number one movie is a Netflix release that is quite probably the best documentary that I've ever seen. It is called The Lost Children.
Okay.
It is about a, don't remember the year, maybe 2022, 2023, when the plane crash happened. It is about a group of children in the Amazon, indigenous children. They are in a small single-engine aircraft as it goes down in the Colombian jungle. And they survive on their own for 40 days. And it is about the indigenous and military effort to try to find them alive. And it touches upon a lot of like indigenous culture, the military and indigenous people working together. And it focuses a lot on spirituality. Mm-hmm. And I think it's one of the best unscripted things I've ever seen, with one of the best scores I've ever heard.
Interesting.
Same guy that did a few Netflix wildlife scores. Is it Virunga, the gorilla one? He also did that one.
Seen that. Interesting.
But it's an amazing score. Uses a lot of indigenous instruments and stuff.
That's really cool. So my number one movie is probably no surprise to the guy sitting here at this table. But it is a movie that I watched at an early screening, and it was only like a day early or something. But I watched it in IMAX, and it didn't come to IMAX for a month, I think, because there was other stuff also out at the same time. I think was Gladiator out at the same time?
Yeah.
Gladiator 2. But my number one movie is a musical that I have been, I've listened to the music for a long time, but I've never actually gotten to go and see the Broadway show. And sitting in the theater, which there were a lot of people there on that screening too. There were like, it was packed that night. My dad went with me, and like, it was a magical experience. And I don't mean that like facetiously. I mean, like, I felt like
it.
Dude, it was so cool. It was a magical experience. And my number one movie of 2024 is Wicked, which there's a good chance that it will also, Wicked Part 2 might have back-to-back number one spots.
I was going to joke that this one would be your 2025 one as well.
Wicked Part 2.
I know.
Yeah, because it's supposed to come out this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, super, super good. I loved it. I loved the music in it. Ariana Grande was a great casting. Cynthia Erivo, fantastic casting. Both of them really steal the show. And yeah, like it was like being transported to Oz and Shiz and the like world of Wicked for the first time, because I've never seen the Broadway show or anything like that. So it was literally like the first time that I got to experience this thing that I have been listening to music and stuff for a long time, because I love musicals. Cool. It was so cool. And there's a lot of like really good theater experiences that we've had, especially in the last couple of years.
Yeah, of course. We got to see some cool stuff.
Yeah, but that one, I don't know, something about it, like it was special.
Nice.
I loved it.
You might say that with you, the film Wicked is popular.
Oh, it's definitely popular. La, 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 la.
Okay, is this the last of them?
Yeah.
Well, you may have seen that there's one thing that hasn't been on my list so far, and now it's going to be revealed that my number one movie for 2025 is Twister. Zzz. It's just, I don't know. It's good.
We like it.
It's good.
Got some haters.
That's not what he said. He said he likes it. And I don't know. I just liked that movies like that are being made. You know? Because, I mean, yes, it's a sequel. And yes, honestly, I like it more because you could tell, I feel like in probably some of the original drafts, it was going to be way more like contrively and weirdly related to the first one. I like that it wasn't. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Sure. The concept is that they're storm chasers.
Well, but they do use like a sort of similar technology that was kind of invented in the first movie
Yes, they do.
at times. So that's like kind of the only real callback.
Yes, but you could tell because there's that photo in her room. There's probably originally a B plot where like she was their like niece or something, or somehow related to them.
Yeah.
If they would have did that, I wouldn't have bothered me. But what I'm trying to say is, I guess that, yes, it's a sequel. Technically, you could say it's IP, whatever, but it stands on its own. And to me, it's like it should be proof that movies with somewhat original concepts, with a good cast and good direction, will be and can be like successful, and that we need more of that. You know what I mean? We need more movies like Twisters to be made,
Yeah.
and I want to see more in 2025 like Twisters.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, but
Even though
that's
it's-
part of a.
I know.
But that's a good example of one that
Jurassic
will be
World
high
Rebirth.
quality. Do you know?
Have you seen the trailer for it yet?
No.
Dude, it looks freaking cool.
Do you know what my expectations are for Jurassic World Rebirth?
Oh, I'm sure they're super, super low.
They're very low.
But the
They're probably
trailer-
the lowest of
So,
any movie ever.
I mean, I agree after, the freaking crap show that we had with Dominion. I like literally, I haven't got to watch the extended cut yet because I refused to buy the movie after how bad it was. But I was more excited about that movie from that 5-minute teaser. That
I
if they
know.
had just played it at the beginning of the movie,
I know.
it would have been a completely different story.
Yeah.
But the trailer for this one, it looks good.
I know, but
It
you know,
looks
but you know
good.
who's directing it?
Yeah, Gareth Edwards.
Apparently, what I've realized one of my least favorite directors.
Oh, you don't like Gareth Edwards?
No, I don't think so.
Even though he did Rogue One?
I know it's an enigma,
I like Gareth Edwards. I'm excited.
and the writer also is. I don't know if I like the writer. Anyway,
Harsh.
what I'm saying is I'm going into Jurassic World Rebirth with low expectations, and I really hope it impresses me.
All right. Well, that goes through everybody's top 10. We do have a couple other categories here, and then we've got some, I don't know if we would say awards necessary to hand out, but just some specific categories here that we'll go through. But I want to go through our best rewatches of 2024 real quick. There were a lot of movies that we really loved that we watched this year, or last year, I should say. And I'll start off with the first one that it almost gave me like a new, like renewed view of the movie. Specifically because this sort of came out like during a time where I wasn't really going to watch movies in theaters all that much. It may have even been like during COVID. I don't even remember when this came out. But before the second one, they did a re-release of the original Dune, not the like original Dune, but the first one in this new series from Denis. Is on February 10th of last year. It was in IMAX.
What's the last name?
Denis Villeneuve.
The way you said that was so good. What's his last?
Villeneuve. But yeah, we got to watch Dune, and I was a Dune hater. And I still don't know that I'm just like over the moon, like in love with the first one. I've grown to have sort of a greater appreciation for it. But watching it in IMAX and getting to like, because a lot of that is like Hans Zimmer's score is just different when you watch it in an IMAX theater. And the sound design's really cool. It's like a really slow paced movie. It's like almost a chore to watch at times, but it was so cool to watch it in IMAX.
Yeah, that's the only way to see it.
Yeah. Especially that one. Dune 2, I could watch whenever, but the first Dune, I don't know. I kind of needed an IMAX experience to like actually want to go watch part 2, really.
Mm-hmm.
I have two that I came up with for rewatches that I really enjoyed this year. The second one was Oppenheimer when it came to streamers. Watched it again last summer, and I think Saw it twice in theaters, so that was letting it rest a year and going back to it. That is an amazing movie.
It's so good.
Number one rewatch, Interstellar in IMAX.
Yeah. God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was freaking good. It is not on my list of my top 3 rewatches.
Me neither. I forgot that we did that.
I didn't even forget. It was amazing. And I had some other things that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So.
X-Men First Class. I rewatched some of the X-Men, and I always liked it. It also used to play nonstop on FX. We have the movies.
FX.
Back in the day.
Has the movies.
FX Men. And
why did they never use that?
they may have. I don't know. FX has the movies Men.
FX Men? Bro. Why did they not use that?
But it might be the most. I think it's the best X-Men movie. I think it might be the most perfect origin story movie. It's just so satisfying.
I've still never seen them.
And
I've never really been big on X-Men.
They're so much better than the Marvel movies, in my opinion.
Take that back.
They really are.
You blasphemous human
They
being.
did it before Marvel was cool. But I really love them. And X-Men First Class is a great movie.
My second rewatch, Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, which we watched on
God.
November 2nd. We were trying to watch it before Halloween, but everybody got busy. So we ended up watching it a little bit after Halloween.
That was kind of the weekend.
The reason
yeah.
that we watched this, though, was because it came out on Blu-ray this year.
It did.
And it looks awesome.
It looks so
It
good.
looks so good.
From years of watching it on VHS, it looks so beautiful.
And they have a 5.1 mix, I think, on it now. Dude, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
and it made us laugh so much.
Oh, absolutely. It's so fun. And I had a hard time actually deciding whether I wanted to talk about that one or if I wanted to talk about Zombie Island. Because Zombie Island was one that I did not like as a kid, but watching it now, like
It's cool.
it's good. It was really good. I was impressed. I'm telling you, the only thing I remembered about that movie was that there were scary cat people.
And they ate peppers.
And they ate peppers.
Not to be confused with the time they also ate peppers in the live action movie.
It's true.
Which, it's weird that it happened twice.
We did watch that too.
Yes, we did.
Is it on yours?
No, it's not. I've movies that I've rewatched a million times aren't going to end up on this list because no, that's not true. Actually, that is not true.
Go ahead. What's your number 2?
Well, my number 2 doesn't apply to this, but it's a movie called Stranger Than Fiction. It's a Will Ferrell dramedy movie.
Okay.
But I don't know. I rewatched it and I was like, this is a very underrated movie that not many people know about, but it's very good. Basically, the concept of the movie, and it's not a spoiler. It's literally in the beginning of the movie. Is Will Ferrell is like a guy, and someone is narrating his life like it is a movie, but then he starts to hear the narration.
That sounds funny.
And he's like, why is this voice narrating like what I do? And then it goes into the rest of the story. But it's a good movie. We need to watch it.
You guys, what, Stranger Than Fiction?
Mm-hmm.
Is what you said? That's cool.
And the movie I was referring to that is my number 1 rewatch is Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, which I have rewatched. I don't know. I've watched it probably 20 times over my lifetime or more.
Theaters.
But I don't know. Seeing it in the theater was cool.
So cool.
I know it's being forced to sit down, because these movies
I know what's going to be on your list for next year.
But
Episode 3.
it better be.
Episode 3.
But these movies you watch so many times that you don't even halfway even watch them when you rewatch them because you know them so well. Being forced to sit in a dark room and just watch it made me notice things about it that I had never noticed before.
I've seen
and that's
it,
pretty crazy.
I've seen it a couple times. It was literally like watching it for the first time.
Yes.
I mean, I like Star Wars. I'm not nearly as big of a fan as you or a lot of people are. Or like Drew's a huge Star Wars fan. I'm not that into it. I do love Star Wars. But I mean, I don't know if I've sat down and watched all 6 movies, like the original 6, in a long time.
We're gonna do it this year.
And literally, it was like
And you were invited to do that, to participate.
Have you seen any of them? Oh, dude, you're missing out. I legitimately think though that it was literally like watching it for the first time.
Yeah.
Like I remember bits and pieces, but it was awesome. It was so
fun.
cool to watch it in theaters. Yeah. My third rewatch is one we did for this show on April 13th, episode number 2, Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. It was one that I had not seen in a long time. It's an incredible movie.
I'm surprised every time I
lot of
watch it
fun.
by how good it is. Every single time.
Yeah. It's so good. So good. I'm surprised you didn't have like Dead Man's Chest or something on your rewatch list.
I've seen it 80 times.
See, that's for me. It is hard to put those movies that you've seen a bunch of times because I don't know.
Yeah.
You better start believing in ghost stories, Miss Swan. You're
Okay.
in one.
Okay, let's go through some little I don't know, some little categories, awards of sorts. What was your biggest surprise movie of the year?
The Bike Riders.
Bike Riders?
No, wait, no, it wasn't. The biggest surprise movie was The Order.
You looked at my list.
No, because I forgot. I had The Bike Riders, but then I changed it.
Yeah, the biggest surprise for me of the whole year was The Order.
Because it was like, okay, sure, let's go see it. And then it's, it's a very simple movie. There's not a lot of bells and whistles on it, but it's very well made. And that's what was surprising about it. Is it could have very easily been like, we could have walked out and been like, that was fine. Because we did it with a lot of movies. But we walked out and was like, okay, for what it was, like that was nearly perfectly made.
I mean, it was good. Jude Law's great in it. Nicholas Hoult is great in it. Like he plays
He's scary.
a scary dude. I think one of the biggest things that I took away from it was just how pretty that the landscape was where
Yeah,
they
it
were
was
shooting
beautiful.
that. Which I think maybe they shot it in Canada or the Pacific Northwest.
Maybe.
Somewhere up there. But just beautiful, like breathtaking scenery. And it was not a big name movie. It really wasn't even that big of a release. I just happened to see it and was like, oh, this looks like it might be really good. And so we ended up going to watch it.
Is that the one about
Very
the
good.
white nationalists?
Yes.
Oh, the trailer looked so good.
You should watch.
It was-
You would really like it.
You would like it. It was really good. It was really, really good. What was your biggest surprise movie of the year?
Caddo Lake.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting anything
Yeah,
other
sure.
than
That's a
this
good
was- This was
It's
film.
one of your favorite movies now.
Yeah.
I actually heard about that movie like several years ago, and I just like, well, I guess it's just not going to come out.
It was
But-
2021, October of 2021 when they were looking for extras.
I think it went through like 3 or 4 name changes I saw before they finally like settled on one. So yeah, it almost like, I don't know, potentially didn't even come out. I do want to save the worst for last. So what do we have for a biggest flop? I mean, my vote
This is a movie that we wanted to like, but then
Yeah.
we saw it and we're like, oh.
My vote was Joker 2, which I think is the obvious answer. But like after, because I told you Joker 1 was great, and I made you watch it, and it's good. Second one, like what in the world? I'm telling you, it was like Todd Phillips was pissed off
I
that
think
they
that's what
wanted him to
happened.
make a second one. He was like, no, this is a standalone movie. Got mad, wrote a crappy script, and then somehow they let that come to theaters. It does
Is
not.
that the new like meta for like directors? Like when they don't want to do something, they just make a movie that will cost a company a bunch of billions of dollars.
You want me to make a third one?
Right, yeah,
I'll
exactly.
show you.
The
That
thing
was
is, Warner
literally
Brothers
what it
would
felt
probably be like, okay, yeah, we'll try again. They probably would. I guarantee you they would make a third one in a heartbeat.
Probably.
How stupid is
They would
that?
make it with someone else, I feel like.
Yeah, probably.
So I don't know. I don't know what was going on. That was so bad compared to how the potential that it could have been.
I also agree on Joker 2. I did not see it. And it's mainly because I was going to see it.
And then you heard.
And then I heard so many people saying it sucked. And people that like every movie.
We're even like, okay.
Yeah. We're like, okay, yeah, no.
So-
not this one.
For me, it was Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I was so disappointed in that because
I
it was
enjoyed
built
it.
up and I really, really loved Afterlife. And I just like the Ghostbusters stuff in general. But I don't know, it was literally like, for however like interesting and different Afterlife felt, it felt like the new Empire movie doubled down on like every like
The
trope
Frozen
and like
Empire?
weird thing. What?
Frozen Empire?
What did I say?
The new Empire?
Oh, right. Excuse me.
That's
There were two
Godzilla.
different Empire movies.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Which, it's weird that it happened twice. So something two Nichols.
Yeah.
Um,
Not the Nickel Boys.
right. Okay. Right. Yeah. Different movie.
Frozen Empire.
Yeah, like I don't know, it just had it was weirdly edited, and you could tell like they had like probably a 4-hour cut of the movie, and they tried to edit it, and then I don't know, it was just odd, and it made me sad.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but it's nowhere near as good as the first one of the new series.
And I had pretty big expectations of it, and I really didn't meet them.
Well, and I feel like there was a lot of potential there. Like the trailer looked good.
I think that's what annoyed me about it is there was so much potential.
Yeah. And it was good. Like I would watch it again, but
yeah,
I don't know. It just kind of, I don't know, didn't quite hit. Okay, what about best performance? I do kind of want to go first on this one.
Go ahead.
Because I've talked about this one a lot, so I feel like both of you potentially maybe know what this is. But it is David Johnson's performance as Andy, which I don't know if that's how you say his last name or not, but as Andy in Alien Romulus.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
the robot.
Yeah, he plays a robot guy, and like he basically plays like 2 or 3 different characters throughout the movie because they like upgrade him at one point, and he becomes like he gets a British accent and starts talking like this, and is like completely different character. And it was
surprising.
I think it's the best performance not only of this year. I think it's one of the best performances I've ever seen from an actor. Like it was just so good. I could go without watching Alien Romulus again, probably. Like I'm glad I watched it, but I don't like the creepy like 7 foot tall guy at the end. That I don't know, just not my cup of tea. But I would watch that movie specifically to watch his performance.
Yeah.
Like just that good. Like I said, with Timothée Chalamet, Magnetic in Dune Part 2. I mean, this dude like is worth watching. Like the movie's worth watching specifically to watch this guy's performance. Just so good. And I really hope that he's in a bunch more stuff.
It's a 3-way tie.
For best performance?
Yes, but there's 2 ones that are sort of memes. One is Hugh Jackman in Deadpool and Wolverine. Just because, I don't know, I really like seeing him back as Wolverine.
Life is
The other one is, hold on, wait, let me find his name again. I had it pulled up. Apparently the actor's name is Dan Stevens, and his character, I don't even know his character's name. Apparently he was named Trapper. But he's the character who's the first fun character in this series ever. In the Godzilla Kong New Empire movie, he's like the crazy guy that like flies the helicopter, and he's like way too charismatic to be in a Godzilla movie that are normally
is
very
he the
like
one that like fixes Kong's tooth?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
But I didn't even remember that. But yes, you're absolutely right. I don't know. He knows what movie that he's in. And he's one of the only actors who knows what movie he's in those movies. And it made me have a good time.
I mean, everybody knows that these new Godzilla Kong movies have gone like off the rails.
Yeah, they're just memes. He puts in that type of performance.
But they're just fun, too.
Yeah, they're meant to be fun.
It's not like meant to be a serious, like, Godzilla comes to terrorize the people.
Yeah.
Like it is.
We've already done that.
Yeah, like he freaking suplexed him into a pyramid.
Right. That happened in the movie. Okay, but my real best performance is, I think it might be Tom Hardy in The Bike Riders.
He's good in that.
He really
freaking good.
He really surprised me.
Yeah, that one was really freaking good. Best performance?
I would have to say Dylan O'Brien, Cadillac.
Nice.
That's
He's
what I
good
can think
in
of
that.
on the top of my head. Or
M.
Night Shyamalan as the concert guy in Trap.
Jesus.
He did good. His daughter is really good in that too. Yeah, Salika in their name.
I think so.
I think it's like
I think she's the youngest, and the middle one is the one that directed Watchers.
all right, this is one Braxton suggested. Funniest scene.
Because I would talk about it a lot when we would go and watch them. I was like, is that the funniest scene like of a movie all year? And there's some pretty good honorable mentions. But the scene that I listed as the funniest scene, spoilers, is in the film Y2K when the stoner kid, which is one of the kids from the American Vandals group, the kid with the long straight hair, he attempts to do a trick off of a fallen over basketball goal on rollerblades, and then he immediately falls and hits his head and dies. He's not killed by like the menacing like killers of the movie. He's just an accidental death.
Yep.
And it's played for laughs.
Yep. Yep.
And it
Didn't
made
he, like,
me
hit his head on the curb?
Yep, he just hits his head on the curb, and it made me guffaw.
I thought you were gonna go the Jim Carrey dance scene in Sonic.
Well,
3.
that's another one. Yeah, that's a big one.
That's pretty good. The funniest scene, which I think I maybe should use this. I don't know. I don't know if Christian has seen this. I'm gonna guess not, based on his top 10. But my funniest scene of the year was from a direct to streaming movie called Ricky Stenicki.
Oh yeah,
And it is John Cena, where he's playing a guy in like I don't even know. This is like a casino show, maybe. I don't exactly even know where they are. But he plays a guy named Rock Hard Rod that makes like obscene, like
Parodies?
sexual jokes. Sort of, yeah. And it's sort of like parody songs.
but the most obvious like version of that you could do.
Yeah, and it's just, it's just like sexual, and he plays it, and it is hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if John Cena does more of that sometime soon.
I hope so.
Like it was funny.
Funny scene. Well, I have a lot of dramas in mind. There were quite a few scenes that were funny in Deadpool and Wolverine. I also believe that this may have been a 2023 movie, but there were lots of laughs when Ryan and I watched a film called The Ritual Killer. I believe we watched that in 2024. So I will count several unnamed scenes.
that
last
year. I think that was 2023.
I remember y'all talking about that because that's all you could talk about for like 3 or 4 weeks. And I was like, "There's no way it was that funny. It was like a bad movie.
It was bad. It was so bad.
It's really good. You should watch it.
I don't know that I would say
It's also pretty funny.
I don't know that I'd say it was really good. It had like probably the worst ending that I've ever seen in a movie.
And also, if you've ever wanted to wonder during a movie, did that guy just turn into, what was it, a rat?
Yeah.
If you've ever wanted to wonder that, if the main character just turned into a rat in a
You
movie.
should watch Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah, this one does it.
Yeah. And then I have a category here, which I don't know if you guys did anything for, but it's the one that got away for now. A movie that you wish you had gotten to see in 2024. That was new, that maybe either didn't come to theaters and it's streaming somewhere right now, or like you just couldn't make it to the theater to watch. The one that came to mind for me is one that I don't think ever came to theaters anywhere close to us. But I've heard good things about it, and I really want to watch it. And it is called Hundreds of Beavers.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. I'm gonna add that to my watch list.
Yeah, I mean that's one that I really want to get. I really want to probably get and watch at some point. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere. I need to check on Just Watch or something and see.
My one that got away is a movie that's being highly lauded. Is Honora. I didn't see Honora this year, and I want to watch it.
I've heard that one. I've heard that one's supposed to be good. So
I wonder if she'll catch on fire in this one.
For me, it's Nosferatu. I didn't get to see it.
Okay, yeah.
You didn't get to see Nosferatu? Oh, dang, man.
You know, that's what they're going to call the sequel to. Is Nosferatu Furious.
Okay, worst?
The joke I just made, does that count as the worst?
You said that. I literally can't even remember what my other movie that I wanted.
I just flashbanged you.
I just went blank. Okay, well, it'll probably come to me in a minute.
It was Too Fast, Too Furious.
I guess so, man.
Oh, wait, you already watched that.
Yeah, I did. It's really freaking good. I still need to finish my Fast and Furious ranked by audio mix that I was going through. All right, worst movie of the year. You want to go first, Christian?
Sure. Well, I didn't see that many movies, so unfortunately, the worst is just
The worst.
It's
one
still
you
in the
watched?
top 10. But
Right.
It's the
But it's at
worst
the
one I
bottom.
saw. And that would probably be Twisters. No, just kidding. It would be Wicked, but yeah.
He got you both times. It's by default. Though.
It's by default, yeah.
okay.
Twisters was good.
He's a
but
Twisters hater. I don't care what you have to say. Hater.
You know what I'm about to say.
Madam Web.
You know that's not true.
You're going to say
Argyle. Argyle. Oh my God. They said from the twisted mind of Matthew Vaughn, and oh my God, were they right?
he was twisted,
I-
all right.
Ryan, I don't know if you could even describe to the people how much I was seething. I hated this movie so much. And I don't even know if I can articulate completely why.
I mean, I almost clapped at the end of it. I thought it was great.
oh my God.
I don't know that I would say great, but yeah, we got up from this movie and Braxton's like, what did we just watch? That was horrible. And I was like, dude, it wasn't that bad. And he's like, no, dude, that sucked. Like just going off.
I was
like,
got
I
me
don't know
riled
when
up
I've
for some
ever seen
reason.
Braxton this upset about a movie.
We should watch it.
I know the original log line when they announced the movie, it ruined the twist and the ending. That's all I know about that
I
movie.
didn't know that. But I don't know. It was just, it's everything I hate about modern movie making combined into a movie that's so bad, it's not even so bad, it's good. And to me, that's the ultimate sin. When you make a movie that's so bad, it's just boring. Like you can't even watch it and like make fun of it.
Yeah, maybe.
Like that's pretty bad. Okay. Anyway, I've
I don't know
spoken
that
my piece.
I don't know that I felt that strongly about that movie. I mean,
Do you want me to read my
there were-
letterbox review?
There were definitely worse movies. I mean, you certainly can. I'll go ahead and say my worst movie of the year. And honestly, I had a hard time picking a worst movie of the year because Borderlands was awful.
Oh,
Don't
yeah, you
get
did
me
see
wrong.
Borderlands.
Borderlands was bad. And I'm going to go ahead and say that that is my worst movie of the year. But I watched Drive Away Dolls on a plane. And I don't know if it was just because I watched it on a plane or if I just really did not like that. Like that one was definitely a toss up for potential worst movie of the year was Drive Away Dolls. But Borderlands, I think I picked Borderlands as my worst movie specifically because the script was so bad. That's a movie that should be rated R and they decided to make it PG-13. And it almost seemed like they had a rated R script written and like some executives read it and they were like, nah, we got to make it PG-13 so more people go watch it, which is like the opposite of what they should have done. And so they like rewrote the script trying to make it as similar to the rated R one that they could.
Yeah.
And then like somehow like tripped and fell and both like scripts, all the pages fluttered out and they just like scraped them back up and were trying to piece it together and didn't know which one went with which one. And so they just like panicked and stuck them together and it was bad. Like that's the worst written movie I've ever seen. The CGI was pretty terrible as well. And it's got a big cast. That's what's crazy. They spent a bunch of money on that movie.
And it all went to the cast.
It's not good. Not good. Would not recommend. And I don't know. I mean, it had potential to be decent. I mean, I'm not a big Borderlands fan. The story itself was not all that good to begin with. But it had potential there. And they royally screwed it up. Royally screwed it up. And it was... I mean, it was on pace for a little bit there to be like the new lowest or biggest loss to overtake Cutthroat Island, I think, for a little bit. Like it was wild how bad and like unpopular that it was.
I just want to say the last line of my review about Argyle, which was, I wish the whole movie was just Sam Jackson reacting to that Lakers game. There's 2 or 3 parts of the movie where Samuel L. Jackson is sort of doing plot stuff while he's like reacting to like a Lakers game.
He's sitting in like
And
a
it's the
control
most
room.
entertaining part of the movie.
He's sitting in like a control room, and like instead of having like some like surveillance or something going on this deal, he's just sitting there watching like a Lakers game.
And he's reacting to it in a fun way.
Yeah.
More entertaining than the rest of the movie.
Yeah. The scene with the skating and the oil is the one I think that really sent you over the edge.
It really did.
Yeah.
It really
was
did.
bad.
Oh my God. I really want Christian to watch it to put him through that.
No thanks.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let us know what you think of our top 10s. If you don't agree with some of them, let us know. Let us know what your top 10 is in the comments as well. We'd be interested to take a look at those and give some feedback potentially on how we feel about your top 10. So once again, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you hopefully in like a week or two at this point for our final movie of the first year rated R. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're closing out with Hook. So make sure to watch Hook and be prepared for the last episode of the first year. And then we'll be back after that with some more goodies. It'll be a lot of fun.
Bangarang.
Bangarang.
Whatever that means.
Bangarang. Anyway, bye guys. See you later.